we're just about ready to get started. Fear, any predictions for this one?
I would have come in before this event, before any of the games were played in Salt Mine 3, and I would have said that Mawkzy was a pretty clear favorite. I would say that, I guess if I were to pick numbers like a 4-2, like I wouldn't even necessarily expect it to go the whole way, because I do think Mawkzy had the edge, but Nwpo's been playing insane. And he won the most recent matchup. I think they're now tied on matchups between themselves all time, 3-3. So I'm going to go Mawkzy. I'm going to stick with Mawkzy. Okay. We'll see if I'm wrong.
I'm going to agree with you. I think Mawkzy in the business end of this tournament just has the edge in my opinion, but let's find out. It's game 1 of a potential 7. Mawkzy took the L in the group stage when these two matched up. Looking for revenge with an early kickoff play here, going in his favor, and it's effortless. Bottom left corner with the mind game.
Mawkzy is going to be looking to farm on kickoffs. There's no doubt about it, but I think this is a good example of what a lot of people who watch Mawkzy think that he maybe is a bit more boring playstyle. Some people would say he's more ones focused, but in today's day and age, you have to be able to have the aerial game too, and the mind games that come along with making that fake first shot. I mean, Mawkzy, he has it all over the field.
He's got a 2-0 lead as well. It's it's absolutely true. He is a well-rounded player. I think when he first came onto the scene, he was a bit one-dimensional, very ground game focused, but he added the aerial game to his play and actually took a bit of a ladder rank decrease when he had that change to his game initially, but he really figured it out quickly. Did a great job in becoming a more well-rounded player. Now I think when he peaks, he might just be the highest peak in 1v1. He's got Zen and Ruas to contend with there. Nwpo, air dribble bump. Mawkzy almost stopped it. That was a great try, but it is going to be the first goal for the Saudi Arabia.
Talking about somebody who has modified their game a little bit, when Nwpo came onto the scene playing his 1v1, he just stick the boost button down. I think he literally just taped it down and figured everything else later. And it led to a ton of free nets. He gave a ton of free options, but he was so potent on offense it almost didn't matter. But he has since cleaned that up. I mean, you can't get away with being in these Salt Mine 3 finals without, a little bit of defense as well. So he has found the line over time, and that's what's led to such a good record coming into this event.
Mawkzy, very comfortable dribbling the ball back into his half. He does like to concede the field when he has the ball. When he doesn't, not the same idea. He's all over his opponent. Looking to make it 3-1 here off the sidewall. High first touch. The second one was on target. Nwpo still saves it. And what a recovery as well. That might be the second goal for him unless Mawkzy can get back, which he does. And that's a brilliant bounce off the inside of the post. Keeping control of the ball for now. That is not going to be long. Nwpo resumes possession in the midfield.
Bounce dribble. This is a timeless play. An absolute timeless 1v1 play here from Nwpo. When you get the kind of space to set up something like this, and of course it's coming from a Saudi Arabian player as well, Mawkzy has no choice. Mawkzy has to jump because every turn towards the ball there from Nwpo is a threatened shot. And if Mawkzy stays and sits around, the closer the ball gets to the net, he's going to have no chance. So just great offense from Nwpo, has Mawkzy on strings, and has himself a tie game.
Lots of aerial chances for Mawkzy. Here comes another one. It's another fake, but this time the shot is not towards the bottom corner. It's straight towards his opponent, and he did not have any time to turn there. Nwpo's all over him. This is a much better passage of play, and you're not going to save any shots from that range. Just too simple. Nwpo advances at the near post. Fake challenge for Mawkzy did absolutely nothing. It's now 3-2 lead for the Falcons Pro.
I like Nwpo, the adjustment there on that Mawkzy same wall to air dribble setup we saw to start the game, and he was able to fake it and go low. I don't hate defenders trying to force, the mechanics out of that air dribbler. Make them prove they can do it on the day. I mean, we know Mawkzy can do it in general, but let's see if he can actually do it now in this big, crucial moment. And if he can't, then continue to just stay grounded and make those low saves. Nwpo did it, and that's why he's got a lead.
That's a confident setup in the challenge, but Mawkzy's knocked the ball past him. It tips in, and it's another tie game. Wow, it was almost the ideal play there. I think maybe a bit too much of a scenic route for Nwpo in the approach, as Mawkzy just clattered him, or managed to get the ball past him before he got clattered mid-air. Expectedly close between these two, as it was the last time that they played. Little bump there from Mawkzy. Now near post, he looks to set up himself. Nwpo sticking to the ball. It's the next Another boost steal comes through. Just 12 boosts for the KSA Pro here. Mawkzy looking to force a bad save. Expects the save to come in from Nwpo there, but look at the boost being stolen again. This is going to be a very difficult exchange to get out of, unless, oh my goodness, what a heavy hit by Nwpo. Forces Mawkzy all the way back. That was ideal. From under pressure to in 100 boost position in defense, and even a save on Mawkzy's flick.
Nwpo letting Mawkzy get to his spot. He wants to get to that ball carry all game long. He's getting there again. He's looking for the top left corner. You know that's where Mawkzy goes with it. And you have to, as a defender against Mawkzy, do your best to not allow him to get to these positions. This time around, Nwpo not a ton of boost, and in reverse, he really had no solid challenge to try and go back to the ball. So he's forced back. It's going to come down to how often he can prevent Mawkzy from getting that. And I think if there's anybody who can do it, it is Nwpo. He loves to just stay on ball and not let a dribble ever get started. He's got a great position right here as he now has Mawkzy retreating to the back corner. He's doing another one of those hook shot fakes, but credit to Mawkzy for covering as much of that angle as early as possible. And now he's back to his favorite spot again. You know where he's going to look. This time it's a fake. Nice adjustment. Instead of Mawkzy going to the top left, he flips underneath the ball and clips that left side of it, putting it to the right. Mawkzy's got it all.
That is just impossible to read. I mean, Mawkzy, he knows, like you said, that top left corner flick is constantly a threat. And in an attempt to cover it, the near post was left wide open. Now, will Mawkzy get back to stop this one? He will. A great first touch. Oh my goodness. The respect was there for Mawkzy's recovery. And instead of just rushing the first time shot, he goes for the first touch and the top pins finish. It's great composure by Nwpo with well over a minute remaining. He's within a goal.
Yeah, that additional touch is actually just the right answer to force Mawkzy to slow down a bit on the recovery. You don't want to play, especially low boost defenders. You'll see everyone trying not to play into their momentum. Force them to stop, force them to mix up their pace, and then you can so much easier take advantage of them. Nice speed play. Now we're getting bumped though. Mawkzy is really comfortable on the goal line. He faked that first touch. You have to have nerves to steal there. And he's back to his favorite spot. This time, Nwpo tried to turn a challenge, but it's the early flick.
That's absolutely disgusting. The confidence from Mawkzy is ridiculous. A mind game on his own goal line to set up the possession play. I've got to also give a shout out to this guy because he's currently streaming on his own channel. This is the entire tournament he's been streaming, and in the past that's been something that's been more of a distraction for players who've tried to do it. Many players have started tournaments and matches streaming and turned it off, but Mawkzy's not doing that. He is making content while clipping on one of the best players in the world. That's a ridiculous shot that's, I mean, completely unstoppable when you pull the trigger at that range and produce that much power to the bottom right.
He's shooting everywhere. I mean, he's shooting everywhere. Right now, Nwpo, he got that one save. The couple of shots went bottom left or near the center. This time, Nwpo defending on the back wall. Mawkzy just slots it bottom right. I mean, he is a content man at heart, because you'll see, I think I was watching yesterday, he didn't have a huge lead and he was already looking for no-look backboard shots. Oh my goodness. The repertoire on this guy.
He's not really hit the same flick twice. A guy who's known for just flicking the ball the same way every single time has really shown levels in this game. Not that he needed to switch it up. I mean, the top left flick really doesn't have an answer. Nobody's been able to produce one once Mawkzy gets into these positions. But look at how many options he's got. So now a 4-goal game, could easily be 5 when Mawkzy's done here.
Wow, that was a great first touch. Such a powerful one, but he actually brought it a little bit too far out. Nice pre-flip into the corner. Nwpo's in trouble right now. I don't think this first shot's going to be in, but on 0 boost, so often you try and pin somebody back. Nwpo looking to dive. You see Mawkzy camera check to see if Nwpo is there. The reset is sent away, so this should probably be enough. Oh wait, Nwpo's actually just going to stay on ball. He's not looking to reset, at least not right away. And he actually got Mawkzy probably a bit mixed up. I wasn't on Mawkzy POV. But, you know, with 20 seconds left to go and a 4-goal lead, it was always going to be tough for Nwpo, and he still ends up getting a miss, and it's going to be a 5-goal lead now with 15.
Yeah, just too good. Far too good from Mawkzy in the close. And you know he's going to get control of the ball at some point. You just need to waste a little bit of time, and it's completely over. But it was really the mid-game here, from very close to pretty one-sided. Very controlled by Mawkzy there. as he showed off a wide repertoire of flicks that will no doubt have Nwpo pretty scared going into the last game. He does get a consolation goal with a nice mind game, but it's far too little too late. Game over. Mawkzy up by 1. Just 2 seconds left. I wonder if Nwpo will reveal any kickoff strats here.
I've been watching mostly. Mawkzy loves his default, his wave dash. He goes wave dash kickoff more often than not. Nwpo's actually the one who went wave dash kickoff there, but we'll see. We got a lot of kickoffs left.
Let's take a look at the Next Rank post-game stats. NextRank.com if you want to sign up for the Rocket League course coming soon to you guys from apparently Jack and myself. You can use the !TNR command in Twitch chat or scroll down to the description on YouTube. Unsurprisingly, Mawkzy there dominating the field control thanks to that strong mid-game.
No surprise. I mean, I think field control, let me understand. There might be a few people in chat like me who don't know for sure. Field control is ball position, right? If the ball's in the blue half, that'd be field control for Mawkzy.
Yes. So, some players do concede field control voluntarily. They'll take the ball to their back corner, which does, of course, give the opponent a chance to grab boost and even out the pressure in many ways. But not in this game. Mawkzy really put the pressure on Nwpo. Let's take a look now at the Shotcast post-game highlights. Shotcast, of course, the official podcast for Salt Mine 3. Looking forward to seeing Wavy compete in North America later on today. He is, of course, a recent guest we've had in Shotcast. And like I've said throughout the tournament so far, if there are any Salt Mine 3 participants you want us to get on the show, let us know in the Shotcast Discord at !Shocked in Twitch chat. And again, in the YouTube description if you want to find those links. Game 2, Mawkzy and Nwpo. Nice. We almost got the synergy there. We'll have to try that again.
True.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. And it's game 2. Mawkzy and Nwpo. We didn't rehearse this, I promise. Mawkzy already getting some good control here. Now, when he played against TRK, oh, what a save from point blank range. He was dominating with the wave dash recovery kickoffs. You mentioned it at the end of the game 1. Have you seen many adaptations from Nwpo to try and stop that? Either against Mawkzy in the past or in other matches? Delayed kickoffs, fake kickoffs? Because I didn't actually get to watch the Mawkzy-Nwpo initial match that they played in the group stage. He's going to need to adapt something, you'd think, to stop Mawkzy from taking the majority of control.
Yeah, I can't remember in their last match that they're just going to go Moxie's favor. He's actually taking his sweet time here. We waited as long as possible. I don't think this really makes sense to start wasting time with 4 minutes on the clock, but this is just what Mawkzy does. He's a man of content. He is going to let it go all the way to the goal line. But as far as the kickoffs, I can't remember Mawkzy versus Nwpo specifically what happened, but I know that delaying does well against these wave dash kickoffs. And I think what's most important is to just not let Mawkzy be comfortable. I think it's pretty clear that he feels comfortable going for that every time. Have him guess a little bit. This wave dash recovery, I think gets him to the boost here and forces Nwpo to try and make a play. He decides to try and make a play right away instead of backing off. And if you could get that ball out past Mawkzy, that might have been enough, but it's still where Mawkzy can corral it. So 2-0 for Mawkzy.
Yeah, that was a tough touch Nwpo tried to get. He wanted to knock it over Mawkzy's head, of course, but just couldn't pull it off. It looks like Nwpo's going to try and fight fire with fire here, but that's a dangerous game when you're up against Mawkzy. You've got the wave dash kickoffs going head to head. It's pretty much all about who can hit the ball harder, who can push their opponent over. That's how Mawkzy just forced Nwpo back. 3-0. This is getting a bit dangerous now. I'd love to see a fake kickoff in the diagonal. It's not going to happen. Mawkzy take control again.
Historically, Mawkzy does decline. He's just had full control of this game so far. He's won every kickoff. Yeah, and he's just been able to read Nwpo. But Mawkzy does actually defer. One thing I have noticed with Mawkzy is he loves his wave dash kickoff. He's going to default to it most times. But on diagonals is when he most often goes back to standard. For whatever reason, he doesn't love it. I mean, he does go wave dash this time. But, I mean, everything he does is just immediately working. I don't think we've seen a possession yet for Nwpo. Mawkzy is going to be able to steal this corner boost. He's going to corral the ball back in to make sure he has the 100. And this is actually going to let Nwpo out a little bit, though, because that was nowhere near the nets. So Nwpo with 100, but Mawkzy still with the only possession of all game. He got this first possession. Nwpo really hasn't had one. The air dribble bump. Can he get out of it? This might be Nwpo's first chance.
Oh, it's a good one as well. What a fake. He puts it in for one against Mawkzy's 4. Interesting before then, like you notice, Mawkzy backed off to mid, gave the back corner boost to his opponent. He just really wants to control every possession, and it's a great thing to try to do in 1v1. Showing his confidence as well. He's not relying on the really boost starving his opponent as a main source of pressure. He just wants to keep control of the ball, keep himself in a good boost position, and use his speed. Oh my goodness, what about that from Nwpo? 2 goals to 4 off the challenge. Oh my goodness, the speed down the line with a chain dash is purely ridiculous.
This is Nwpo through and through. He's been losing kickoffs, and he's been diving on them and trying to find ways. I would say he's very close to losing that kickoff. Mawkzy went and got the boost. Nwpo decided with 0. He says, I don't need it. He turns and dives and just wall dashes this way as if he had 100 boost, and then finds that absurd shot. He's got Mawkzy in a position he does not want to have him, with that ball on the top of his car looking for the flick top left. And can Nwpo escape? He escaped in order to start his run. Can he do it again? He's just dashing crazy at the ball. Mawkzy faking the flick this time. Nice coverage on the low 50. I mean, with Mawkzy and how he's been playing offense, it's impossible to get these reads. Mawkzy does such a good job of never losing control.
And it's 10 shots to just 4 as we approach half-time in the game. Mawkzy just circling, pressuring, taking away back corner boost, shooting, flicking. Full control, and he's been the more creative player with his kickoff strategies. We've been asking for Nwpo to show us some adaptation. It's in fact Mawkzy who's making the switch up, so he's missed the boost at mid there. That's going to give the possession away. Big chance here for Nwpo, but look at Mawkzy's ability to just completely level out the situation. In fact, taking advantage, and it looks like Nwpo expected it to be in. He left the area, and what I think could have been a clear ball will just result in another goal for the Frenchman.
Yeah, this is sometimes a slight sign of tilt too. Obviously, it's not been going too great for Nwpo, but I think when you're locked into a game, you know, you're turning in and hoping that there's some way you can save it. But Nwpo giving up on it a little bit earlier, hopefully not a sign of what's to come. He's gonna boom this to the backboard. He's got Mawkzy in a decent position. Neither one of them have a ton of boost. Yeah. He's just gonna slam it directly back. It's enough.
Mawkzy trying to grab 112 pad here. He had 12 to his name, goes for his second one, goes for a third, and that was just too much. That one at the edge of the box took him out of the goal by enough of a margin to allow Nwpo the shot over him. But yeah, both players there on very low boost. Mawkzy actually missed another boost in the corner. He's done that a couple of times. I missed one at mid, missed one in the back corner. Just trying to get on the scene a bit too quickly here, which is, I think, just as a result of the speed that the Falcons Pro's been putting on him. Nwpo still within 3 here, but will it be 4? Oh my goodness, what a save! What recovery by Nwpo as well. How has he kept control of this?
That's absurd. Oh, it needed to be accented with a goal. It needed to be. He deserved it. That was an insane flick. I was ready to start commending Mawkzy on how impossible to save it was. Nwpo proved me wrong. Wow. And he took it straight down the field before a real Mawkzy recovery, before he can set up in defense like how he wants. He just puts a perfect delayed front flip flick and slots it.
I mean, we don't talk about it too much because it's just become so normal over the years, but yeah, Nwpo made that save and recovery with 104 ping. I feel like we have to give him a shout at least once a series for these kind of plays. It's difficult enough when you're on the home server, but they're just built different over there. Mawkzy now trying to make it the 3-goal difference again. Top left flick straight at his opponent. And that is a great save for Nwpo as he advances down the line, trying to close the gap even further. Mawkzy reading him at the near post though. Shuts that one down as well.
This one rolling. Not great for Mawkzy, who wanted to hold on to possession. Nwpo, credit to him. Mawkzy didn't know what to do here in this situation. Rolling behind the ball, he wants the ball on top of his car when it's already grounded. He can't leave. He has to try and get a favorable 50, but credit to Nwpo. The backflip challenge is usually, you know, tough to connect with and convert on, but Nwpo's pulled himself back into this game. Mawkzy this whole series has been trying to pull away with it, and he started game 2 the same way he finished game 1. But Nwpo has at least neutralized some of the kickoffs. As I say that, of course, I've cursed him, and Mawkzy has the first possession. He's going to go to that top left again. I think that last flick we saw from Mawkzy was actually an example of where top right was clearly better. You know, Mawkzy has made the top left work in pretty much every situation. And I know for a bit he was working on that top right, but he obviously doesn't feel comfortable enough yet to use it in a big situation like this.
And it looks like both players were interested in the demo there. Mawkzy's the one who got it. Here he comes lining up that top left again. Instead it's to pop into the bump, but it lands. And this is the danger when you expect Mawkzy to be flicking that can turn into a physical play in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Nwpo was trying to pull away the whole time. I mean, he wasn't even trying to make a play on the ball. You see from his perspective, he's just maybe trying to go to the back wall almost and come down, because that was a really high shot. You saw it go crossbar down and in, but he couldn't escape. He couldn't escape. Mawkzy able to connect, so 30 seconds, and every possession counts. Wow. Mawkzy did this without boost. Nwpo was first to the corner, but Mawkzy didn't give up on it, or he did about 21, and Nwpo just a little bit too distracted by it. Perfect setup. A little pogo afterwards as well. You love to see it.
I mean, that's a ridiculous shot by Mawkzy. Nwpo did not expect there to be any danger in that position. He thought Mawkzy was wasting time. Mawkzy disguising just how much boost he had left over there. Now dodging the demo on the sidewall effortlessly. Mawkzy might be a bit too cheeky in this position though. In fact, he is. He thought he had control here. He thought he could run down the clock, but he got clipped. That gives Nwpo another chance late on in the game.
Yeah, 20 seconds. I mean, the way the kickoffs have been going for him has not a great sign for scoring 2, but he definitely can do it. And the one thing that he does have on his side, well, this is a great kickoff win, is he going to take the wall to air dribble? There's actually been a lack of those from Nwpo, considering how good he is at them. But he doesn't have a ton of time either. Maybe he just felt better about the immediate shot, but Mawkzy has the save and clear, and that probably ends this game. Unless something crazy happens here. Mawkzy, nice fake. He's just going to let time waste out and put in one last one.
That was maybe not the right option. Definitely not the right option, I should say, for Nwpo. He had a great kickoff possession play. I don't mind him going in field with it, but the immediate shot was just never really going to work from that range, even if he hit it perfectly. It looked like Mawkzy was recovering pretty quickly. I believe it is net open here to give Mawkzy a 10. It's just stat padding in the top 4 playoffs. 2-0. Mawkzy is in great form when it matters most.
I'll be honest, for me, I'm going to be a little bit worried about what I just saw from Nwpo. As somebody who I feel like as a big part of his offense is that air dribble, and especially the best time to ever get that air dribble is off the kickoff win into a wall to air dribble. It's you're gonna have a low boost defender, or at least a late recovering defender for sure. It's prime, and he decided not to go for it. And I mean, I don't know. You could maybe give him the excuse at the time. He just felt like he had to rush, but he's the kind of guy who's going to score that for sure. And I think, or at least he should be feeling that way. And I feel like taking a for sure goal and then trying to get a quick one is probably the way to go. But I don't know.
Did he have enough time? I think he did. I'm thinking back. I think he did definitely have enough time, but of course, going the ground route, it is faster. So he gives himself a little bit more time in the following play, I guess. It is probably what he was thinking. But I mean, looking back at it, you're absolutely right. It wasn't ever going to be as difficult of a shot to save compared to the aerial plays we know this guy can produce. The flip resets can be so tough to stop. Yeah, what a save and what a counter-attack as well. I mean, that was really the moment of the game for Nwpo there, completely turning around the momentum and stopping Mawkzy from extending the lead even further. Didn't prove to be impactful enough though. Mawkzy up by 2. Luckily for Nwpo, it's a best of 7, so he's got a little bit of time to figure this one out. He's in the octane now for game 3, and you know what that means. It's just going to go up to an even faster gear.
All right, here we go. This is another opportunity. You can shake it all off by not declining here. Mawkzy is going to go to the ceiling. Ooh, almost got there. This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of work. This is probably one of easier takes for Nwpo. He can absolutely beat Mawkzy even when he doesn't, make his mistake and challenge here. But this is where he needs to start, getting Mawkzy guessing. I feel like he hasn't had Mawkzy guessing at all, especially not with his aerial game. And so if he works off that, and this is maybe his first lead of the whole series. I don't know if he's scored first yet.
Yeah,
so this is where he needs to turn it around.
Mawkzy's going to try and fire right back, and he does. It's early challenges by both players and early outplays, exchanging goals inside the first 31 seconds here in game 3. Not the best lines to be challenging from, perhaps. Both players getting a bit off the usual line that you challenge these aerial plays, getting between the goal and the ball. Now, another one here. Nwpo. Mawkzy going to pre-jump and actually makes contact. That's a phenomenal save. Nwpo saw that coming. Still cannot get it over him. Mawkzy with the demo. And can he get this in quickly enough?
Nwpo spawned behind. Oh, what a save! He found it. Mawkzy wasn't even rushing either. He decided to go safe. I think he could have made a play earlier, but he wanted to let it fall to the ground. Nwpo the fake. Ooh, Mawkzy didn't fall for it. Mawkzy doing what I said earlier. You know, test him, make sure he's on his game. This time he's not, and it's a Mawkzy goal.
It's really interesting that in this third game, both players are almost mirroring each other. We've seen similar aerial plays, similar aggressive challenges in defense, and even a bit of mind games being attempted by both players. You know, that one might have been an accident, though, from Nwpo. He's really trying to go close to the ball, if not hit it, and did not make contact. But, you know, going for a mind game on Mawkzy is always going to be tricky. He loves to challenge the ball. No mind game needed in this play. Fairly simple stuff. Mawkzy unable to get the ball into a safe position. I think maybe a bit greedy there, trying to dribble it into his back corner when a safe touch would have made more sense.
Yeah, I just had to make something much quicker. He's trying to control and maybe pop it high or something. Whatever he was doing, it was not fast enough. Not much is fast enough when you're playing against Nwpo. But these kickoffs have equalized. Nwpo's going to try and stay on the ball with just pads after Mawkzy got both the midfield and back corner. And he's going to try and stay on ball again. He's going up the side wall as Mawkzy sets up with the clear boost advantage. Now he's going to see himself in trouble. He actually got the ball just enough over the top of Mawkzy. If that was even a pixel shorter, Mawkzy would have been able to control it and force him into a defensive position in net right away. But now Nwpo, he's looking for the magic on offense. And he gets it.
Just a delicate ceiling double tap to set this one up. And the reset to catch the ball sets up the pre-flip shot to the top shelf. Mawkzy did well to get close to saving it, but you're never going to have an easy time stopping shots that are creative and quickly executed like that one. Another lead for Nwpo. This is huge. In the Octane, he looks like he's got a lot more control of the ball than he did in the first two games.
Yeah, it's the confidence, it seems. You know, the confidence that I think when you imagine an Nwpo win, you imagine multiple of the shots that we just saw happening. Oh my, Mawkzy.
What?
Launched pinch on the save. I think Mawkzy might have been posting out.
Yeah, I told you, I think it was off, but even if the goal was bigger, I think Nwpo had it covered. That's insane that he got across the net that quickly to make that save.
Nwpo undercutting Mawkzy. And now back to the air. This is where he needs to be on form, and he's got Mawkzy dancing into the crossbar and down. This is what a good shot like the one earlier can do for you. Mawkzy knows what's in store for him. He tried to go up and meet him early, but he actually was still waiting. Instead of attacking the ball immediately like he might have been able to, he was expecting a little bit more forward touch from Nwpo, but Nwpo goes to the ground and waits till then to take the shot.
Yeah, much more convincing mind game that time. Multiple shots being threatened. Not a bad attempt to the boost seal there for Nwpo, but it's Mawkzy with the next possession. Early challenge before Mawkzy could even think about flicking. By far the best game we've seen yet from the Saudi Arabian player. And it's, at this point, probably worth mentioning, if you are tuning into Saltmine 3 EU for the first time, then it's pretty much Saudi Arabia versus France over here. We had a little bit of Oski cameo appearances at times, repping Poland and England, but it's Saudi Arabia versus France today, and we've got the chance of an all-France final. We've got the chance of an all-Saudi Arabia final, or just another Saudi versus France matchup in the final as well. Mawkzy right now, the stronger player, it would seem.
Yeah, he's getting a classic goal against Nwpo, which happens a lot, which is when Nwpo just going to chase you down. Oftentimes, he won't even have boosts. He'll continue to try and chase you down, try and make you uncomfortable because he feels so good at high speeds, but sometimes it doesn't work, and that's going to end up in, you know, chases back to the nets that he can't catch up to. So Mawkzy trying to work his way back in. Right now, he's looking to place the ball high as many times as possible to try and starve a low boost Nwpo out, but he did a great job using the inside of the net to escape. And now he's back on offense the other way. That take, though, has no end result. In fact, he doesn't even have time to go grab boost. He tries to go directly back to net, and he's still not in position, and Mawkzy ties it up.
And as usual, the eagle-eyed Mawkzy spots the challenge coming. Didn't really have to use any flicks of the camera in order to see that challenge from Nwpo. It's still really well-timed flick by Mawkzy. His first touch is perfect to allow him to beat his opponent to the ball. And a must-win game for Nwpo is starting to get away from him here. Mawkzy with the bump, setting up the kickoff goal threat. Nwpo with hardly any boost, backs off into his net, but he will save the first flick attempt and defend his back corner boost as well.
Mawkzy wants to hold on to possession. And like I talked about before, Nwpo's not going to have it. He comes to reach him all the way on the back wall, but that's a tough place to challenge, and you see Nwpo agreeing as he fully leaves, and he doesn't have midfield boost, so he's all the way to the back wall this time, the fake flick. And Mawkzy, I think it's his first lead of game number 3.
You can't really blame Nwpo for jumping here, but he was fully committed to a high save As soon as Mawkzy saw him committing to that back wall approach, he went for the low 50. Very, very difficult to save low 50-50s when you've committed to leaping off the back wall like that. Nwpo's got the next possession play. He's got options here. Not too much angle on the dribble. The early flick is good. Mawkzy's missed it. The follow-up shot from Nwpo's not there.
Nwpo can keep him pinned back, or actually, we'll see if he succeeds in doing so. Mawkzy does have 100. Tried to speed past him. Credit to Mawkzy for covering that angle. Nwpo's looking to cut immediately back at field. Pops the ball directly on target. Grabs boost. He's trying to force Mawkzy into save after save. Can he convert? He can! That's the speed he wants to play at. And with less than a minute left to go, it really plays into his favor. That's what he likes to do.
What a shot by Nwpo. He didn't give himself much of an approach there, much of an angle in the approach, but he got so much power on that from a position like that. Nwpo playing it very clean in the closing stages. Another tie game in game 3. Mawkzy with 12 boosts to his name, forces Nwpo back. It's Nwpo off his own crossbar there. Unable to take control of the situation. Lunges in, Mawkzy saw it coming. That's wide open, and it will be a 1-goal lead for the Frenchman.
Huge read. Even with the game completely tied, that is a bit of an aggressive challenge from Nwpo, but that's just his MO. He surprises people a ton, and he gets away with some shots that no one's expecting, but those are the risks you take. And Mawkzy, you talked about earlier, has the eagle eye so far for Nwpo. I mean, more often than not, he's seen him coming, and a great pinch too. It's not easy to get that kind of power to punish, but Mawkzy finds it, and with 20 seconds, he's back in a familiar position with the lead and with the ball as well. Nwpo's not going to be able to make a challenge as this bounces off the wall, and Moxie's going to take his time. He's shown that. He's going to fake and field. Oh my goodness, Mawkzy. He threatens the time waste. He's the kind of guy who'd maybe not even shoot, because this hook shot is not even necessarily on target, so Nwpo wants to go stop it. And Mawkzy does take the goal. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's tough for Nwpo there. I mean, he's got to go. You can't give Mawkzy a chance to just knock the ball across the pitch and waste the remaining time, but so convincing from Mawkzy. He wins game 3 as well. It was the best effort Nwpo's had, but it just doesn't seem like anyone can stop Mawkzy right now. He's avenged his, well, he's on his way to avenging his group stage loss. And, if we look at what Mawkzy's been up to since losing that opening match in the group, by the way, to Nwpo, he's on a 6-series win streak already, looking to make it 7 right here. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable stuff from Mawkzy. Like we said, best try there that we've seen from Falcons Nwpo, but just not enough. Mawkzy is he's on a roll. He's only lost, 1 game in the playoffs as well? The first round to Oski, dropped a game. Since then, he swept TRK. And now he's 3-0 up on TRK's teammate. We have to really just highlight what an insane run Mawkzy's on right now and how difficult the task Nwpo now has.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that's a good point. I had forgotten that single loss, it was a 3-way tie. Actually, in both pools, it was a 3-way tie. Because Mawkzy being down in the quarterfinals is a weird thing in the first place. But yeah, wow, an insane run. And this is the toughest competition you could ever ask for in the biggest tournament. So Mawkzy's proven he's got it.
Yeah, it's just incredible stuff. The only player, actually, that remains in the competition that Mawkzy hasn't got a win on in this event is Rwas. They've avoided each other. Of course, being in different groups and then ending up on different sides of the bracket in the quarterfinals and in the semifinals. Now they're potentially on a collision course. The only players who can stop that from happening are Nwpo and Zen. Nwpo needs a reverse sweep in a best of 7, which is so difficult to do against anyone, never mind Mawkzy in this kind of form. And then it would be up to Rwas to deny the all-French final. It would be up to Zen to also, from his perspective, beat Rwas for the first time.
Yeah, there's a lot of rock, paper, scissors between a lot of these top players. And I would have said before this game that one of them, between Mawkzy and Nwpo, that Mawkzy had the edge. To be fair, with the way Nwpo had been playing, I was backing off of that a little bit. I was thinking that this could go either way. I mean, he won the last matchup, but man, Mawkzy has proven to have the good matchup against Nwpo again. And Mawkzy has a good matchup against just about everybody, but Rwas is one of his tougher ones. Zen, I think, as well. Oh, what a flick. Just a little bit off target. But he's found himself immediately back in the lead. An early goal, and he's up 1-0 in what could be the final one.
Nwpo pinch from midfield. Actually gets a bit of a trip onto Mawkzy as well, but Frenchman recovers, defends his net, keeps his 1-goal lead intact for now. This is a very elaborate setup from Nwpo with the recovery to back it up. Mawkzy circling behind him, just trying to create an angle to challenge from. But this is great work from Nwpo to keep Mawkzy out of the game. Top left shot denied by the post, and now the other post keeps Nwpo from double tapping. Mawkzy scores Nwpo and then sends him a pitch the other way. It's going to bounce off the back corner and almost going towards the goal. Good read there by Nwpo to get back and have that one covered.
Yeah, Nwpo, that set up on the side wall, just so low. It's just high enough that he has to take time to go to the ground, and just low enough it's easy for Mawkzy to come in and challenge. He's going to try and launch this one away from the field, but it is back to Nwpo, whose first touch is nowhere towards the orange half, but he'll find a way to get it there. He'll just use the ceiling, but it costs him so much boost by the time the finish arrives at net. It's going to be very easy for Mawkzy to save, and he's trying to counter all the way. Maybe too strong of a touch, though. Couldn't get around it. Nwpo flying back to the back wall. Mawkzy, he loves to keep these possessions. Once he has it, he doesn't want to give it away. And now he's almost back to his favorite position. I like that fake challenge from Nwpo, just making Mawkzy feel uncomfortable. We know how effective he is when he gets a long-term dribble. But Nwpo's basically stopped it with that early challenge, and now he's back to where he's comfortable. Early reset, pull up the ball, the double is
So close, but still no goals. Nwpo has hit both posts and the crossbar on the inside. Now the air dribble bump denied by Mawkzy. It's just not working out for the Saudi Arabian player. He's tried absolutely everything here. Couldn't finesse him. Can't knock him out of the way. It is Mawkzy setting up the sweep.
That was the whole series personified there. That's the kind of goal that Nwpo has normally seen go through. He doesn't see it go through. Mawkzy then shortly able to convert. And now a 2-0 lead. This wave dash kickoff, though, it was matched between the both of them, and Nwpo actually has a great possession. He's going to steal this back. Where's Mawkzy? I thought Mawkzy could have maybe threatened this, but he was nowhere close.
Oh yeah, he's long gone. He was way out of the game on that challenge. Nwpo will get the goal that he's been looking for. He's been working hard for it, and it actually came a lot more easily than he previously tried. So he's got plenty of time left here. Scoring has been a problem, but really for the whole series, the biggest problem for Nwpo has been just getting a hold of the ball. Mawkzy has been so comfortable with possession. He's had, as usual, as he always does, just perfect vision of his opponent's movements. Never surprised by a challenge, really. Never surprised by a demo or a bump. That's a good example. You know, Mawkzy is so comfortable, even in his back corner. Any mistakes here, and you're conceding. But he just doesn't have any concern about making those mistakes. Nwpo's find a way to dispossess him, though. Final 2 minutes now. Into the air he goes. Mawkzy scrambling back. Nwpo with the flip reset. Free flip. And the goal. Even a bump on the end of it all.
Yeah, Mawkzy was 0 boost, dove all the way into this corner to start the dribble. I was really surprised at how aggressive Mawkzy was being, especially considering how I just feel like that hasn't been how he's played this series so far. But the last thing you want to do is let Nwpo start an air dribble when you have 0. I mean, he's going to convert, and he does. Now, can he get a couple kickoff possessions? He gets bumped off Mawkzy, but he actually uses a dash to recover well. He's going to go for the bump. Mawkzy out over the top of it. Reset on 100. Can he keep this ball away from Nwpo? Not quite. He's going to try and muscle Nwpo off the boost, and he succeeds. So now, looking to pin him back. Nwpo challenging early, doing the best he can, not to be stuck back with nothing. He does earn himself 100 boosts, but now Mawkzy, he can see Nwpo is recovering out of that net. He wants to recover with speed, or sorry, not out of the net, but out of the corner. And so he approaches past that far post, and Mawkzy just slams it top left behind him.
Yeah, but Nwpo expecting another touch there, expecting a soft touch, and while he closes the distance, Mawkzy just volleys it over him. Perfect technique there, again, just threatening so many different things. The ball control from Mawkzy's forcing Nwpo to challenge. Whenever Nwpo does challenge, Mawkzy just hits it over him. Just over a minute to go. Beautiful half flip by Nwpo. Wave dash to set up the open net, and he will tie the game. And that's all from the quick turn. Really well worked. At a bit of an awkward position there. Nwpo finds the speed he needs.
Yeah, Nwpo's looked good in a couple different times now, backwards challenging, but also Mawkzy seems very willing to play these really slow dribbles. He did one in his own corner, and that was when he had a clear possession too. He picked doing that. Nwpo ended up coming and challenging and ultimately getting the possession away from him. It seems like Mawkzy is maybe really trying to control it a bit too much. He's done such a good job at it all series long. Maybe getting a bit overconfident. Needs to pick up the speed a little bit, or he's going to allow Nwpo back in. I mean, it is a tough challenge to get 4 straight, but it's certainly something that Nwpo's capable of. He's going to go back to that front flip flick. Boost steal, so he's looking to pin Mawkzy back. Can he keep him there? Has him reversing in the corner. Not a great position. He should be able to steal this boost, get back to the ball. Mawkzy wants to turn and dive and make a play right away, and he does so. So he's got Nwpo back. Tie game. Nwpo in the air. Nobody more threatening in the game maybe than him, but he actually doesn't hit the reset or doesn't use it. And Mawkzy able to get the save.
Yeah, got away from him a little bit there, Nwpo, but the lunging challenge gets possession right back. Overhits the setup for the dish off the back wall. Just 10 seconds to go. Mawkzy looks like he'll be the first to control the ball. Wants to catch Nwpo pre-jumping. Flicks it, and it's saved by Nwpo, and into overtime we go.
What kind of kickoff? It's very important. What do these guys trust the most? Of course, it's a wave dash kickoff from Mawkzy and just a standard from Nwpo. Not as bad as it could be, but it is a Mawkzy possession. And you do not want Mawkzy in this spot. He is threatening to flick. Nwpo challenges early. Mawkzy follows it back up. And that's it, the sweep. This is the position. I mean, Nwpo, this is one of his best challenges against this flick so far today, but it's just not quite enough. It's still headed to the net. And great read by Mawkzy, quickly tapping it in. 4-3 and a 4-0 win.
Absolutely ridiculous. Mawkzy gets the job done with a speed run. He is unstoppable, it seems. We're going to find out in about 15 minutes' time. Well, a bit longer than that, but we're going to get started with the other semi-final in about 15 minutes' time. Zen and Rwas, the only players left in this competition. Mawkzy's, of course, got a win on Zen in the group stage. They yet to play Rwas in Salt Mine 3. But yeah, he looks like he might be in pretty terrifying form. But I realized earlier as well, but we've got a producer called Ben, and my co-caster is also called Ben. It's going to get a bit confusing, but producer Ben, let's take a look at the highlights and see how Mawkzy got the job done. He had the flicks early on in game 1, which were actually very creative, not the usual top left flick spam that we see from him. He was pre-flip flicking, he was pulling off 180 setups and using a ton of mind games as well. When he's in that kind of form in the ground game, I don't think anyone can really stop him with reactive defense. You've got to get in his face, and even when Nwpo made that adjustment and tried to challenge more early in the plays, Mawkzy just saw him coming. He's got such good vision. Nwpo had some good highlight plays himself, but that's going to be it for him in Salt Mine 3 Stage 1. He'll, of course, be back in Stage 2 to try and go one step further.
Yeah, these guys get to come back. That's the beauty of it all. It's not just one tournament. Tons of options for them. But man, Mawkzy just got his offense established really early. I mean, that game 1, he showed everything he had. Nwpo was really just taking, the occasional opportunity and never put Mawkzy on the back foot. He did a good job. He was on his way back. Maybe if it was a best of 9, the next game, he might have figured it out. But Mawkzy just got going so quick. And nobody can really match him. Tournament Mawkzy really seems to take a step up even from his regular form.
Yeah, it was possession that really, provided the foundation for his win, as you can see in the next rank post-series stats here. Now, that possession came from his powerful wave dash kickoff, which really no one in the tournament has had a comfortable answer to yet. Same thing as I said from the Mawkzy TRK series. I want to see more delayed and fake kickoffs against Mawkzy, because I think that, if nothing else, can at least get him out of his rhythm a little bit. When he gets rolling, he's so hard to stop. But yeah, Mawkzy dominates the first semi-final, books his spot in the grand final. Can we take a look at that playoff bracket and see just how he's done it? I mean, losing his opening group stage match to Nwpo and then going on a 4-series win streak in the group and now 3 series in playoffs while only dropping 1 game to Oski. And I think that was actually the first game. If we look at just games, he's won now 10 games in a row in the playoffs, crossing over to the other side of the bracket there from bottom to top after the semi-finals. Our second preliminary final is coming up very soon. Rawas versus Zen, really the most hype match of the past year for 1v1. But realistically, Fear, do you think either one of them is going to be favorite against Mawkzy if they can make it to the final?
No, I think that I think Mawkzy and Zen had a really close, like a spectacular match, right, in pool play.
Yeah.
That was a best of 5. Mawkzy says he's a better best of 7 player. He would have won any best of in this match, though, so I don't think that really matters. But specifically, you find Rawas Mawkzy is a very common grand final in these 1v1 tournaments, and I do think Mawkzy has the historical edge. It's pretty close, but I think he's favored in that one. And then I think almost he's might be more favored than if Zen shows up. I think if Zen shows up, it might be tougher for Mawkzy. He feels pretty good about the Rawas matchup. But either way, I mean, I had the 3 people that are now left are the 3 people who I had potentially winning the tournament. And so I think any 3 of them could. But yeah, Mawkzy, especially with that performance, we'll have to see how they're playing today, has to be the favorite.
So Mawkzy advances to the final. We are 12 minutes away from the start of the second preliminary final between Rawas and Zen. One of the greatest rivalries we've seen in Rocket League for the past year, but especially for 1v1. Coming soon, so don't go too far. We'll be back right after this break with more Salt Mine 3 EU.